took longer than usual, but here we are. It's fucking, what is it, the 9th? The 8th here? The 8th here. We usually get these chapters on the fucking 5th. The 4th maybe even. The 6th at most, but here we are on the 8th. I don't know what the fuck was happening with these leaks, but they're out now, and we're here to talk about them. Hanji ? Attack on Titan chapter 132 review. We're gonna fucking capitalize on that Hanji clickbait, but I didn't want to put Rip Hanji in the fucking title because that would have made some people mad. But Hanji's dead, Lamau. What the fuck? Minty spamming away in chat as we do. How many viewers are we in front of now? We've gone up. We've gone 24 viewers. Not as many as last month. The hype surrounding this chapter definitely doesn't seem to be as much as last month. Everybody was fucking ready to talk about everything last month. But here we are. Just as much to talk about, probably more, because there's a lot more different characters to go over. We got lazy and we didn't finish the end of the PowerPoint, so it's just images without text. Fuck you. You make your own PowerPoint. Are we ready to get into it? I don't know. Chuck, got anything to say off the bat? I don't think so. What's a chapter review without a tantrum? True. All the old dying means your boy Levi next? No, of course not. Have you seen the Levi video? In the Levi video, I talk about how everybody around Levi dies, and he can never die because he's too strong, and that's the part of his character. That's the conceit of his character. Levi not dying is the subversion. No, Levi not dying is obvious because it's part of his character conceit. Unless he does die. In that case, make fun of this moment in the future. Put it in one of them compilation videos and have funny music playing right now. I was going to mock it, but I don't want to sing. Levi ain't dying. Reiner will die, I'm pretty sure, but Levi ain't. Levi's got to deal with everybody around him dying, and he has to be sad because of that, because everybody thinks you should not want to die, you should be the one that wants to survive, but what does surviving really mean? And all that is why Levi is the best character in Attack on Titan, but here we are to talk about less interesting characters for a majority of this fucking chapter review. Let's fucking start here. What are we fucking around for here? Clip it, Minty. It'll be fun for the future, yes. All the usual suspects are in chat. The Alliance has arrived. We got our first slide here. This chapter was, in fact, not an Eren chapter, but instead a chapter focused on the Alliance arriving in the place and then quickly escaping after regrouping as the rumbling comes down on top of them, but we aren't up to that yet. There was not an ounce of Eren in this chapter. Actually, not true. There is 2 pages of Eren in this chapter with the flashback with Yelena. And I don't think we'll be seeing him again until the climax, which we do fly off to at the end of this chapter, so it might be soon. I don't think this is going to be as big as a break as before chapter 130. It was 130, yes. This chapter overall was more of an in-between chapter with not too many plot developments besides the killing off 2 characters. Initially they arrive, we get this swell panel of the big sweaty boys reeling in the plane from afar. Look at these boys, being muscly and strong. Nikopon on the end, weird unnamed character here, Armin, Connie, Jean, and Reiner here. Pulling the fucking thing in. Pulling it in, pulling out, who knows? Fuck me, my phone is already fucking dying over here, so I gotta read chat quick. Have you read chapter 59? Might be 60, I don't know what Minty's referring to right now. Fuck, I had something else to say here. We did speculate in last minute predictions whether or not this was going to be another Eren chapter, because we didn't expect last month to not to be an Eren chapter, but it was. But here, we got our Alliance boys and girls, and we caught up with them for a little while as we head off to our final destination, as it seems. Griffith Sagers here says Levi's living for people's sins. Maybe. And then right off the bat here, also, we get Armin's Chekhov's bombs. I don't know. Fucking say it correctly next time. Armin wants to keep the bombs, so they're going to be used for later. So it's a Chekhov's bomb. Haha, hilarious. In the introductory pages of the chapter, Armin decides to keep the bombs the Jaegerists had placed on the planes previously, to keep them with them in case they can use them later on in the fight. Armin still, however, is hesitant to outrightly state that he's going to, that Eren is the one they're going to use the bombs on. Even though it almost certainly will be. I wonder if the bombs will have some other service. We'll talk about how maybe they would use them down here in a little bit. But bombs, I don't know if that's like the chief weapon we want to be using here. This is obviously just establishing that the Alliance have explosives in their repertoire that'll be used for some plot important event later down the road. This is set up, bravo. How these are used effectively, I have no idea. Maybe they'll blow Eren's weird dangling head up or something. We still don't know how they're going to fight him. We're heading to the final battle. We just don't know how it's going to all unravel when we get there. In terms of literally, what are they going to do? They're going to punch Eren's fucking weird titan? I don't know. Is Armin going to climb it in the colossal form? We'll have to see. So I don't know. How are they going to fucking use them? Chat, you answer the fucking question. Yelena is a whole cheesecake. Armin is a banana cream pie. I was 100% sure it was going to be an alliance chapter. Fleur is a genius over here, apparently. About Yelena, I have something to say about her, but I'll wait. Anne says, probably for the best. Mr. R is back. It would have been hilarious if Flock shot down the bombs and blew up the plane. Yeah, it was like, that was always a potential danger there. Are we growing in viewership? We are a little bit. Up to 28 viewers now. I feel like I had something else to say about this, but I've forgotten. Armin obviously trying to gather all the things they could potentially use together. Him still not like he here says, I'm not sure if we're going to use them on Eren. Him and Mikasa are still hesitant. That's like a core theme here. Everybody else is willing to go, fuck Eren, we'll cut him up. But they're still hesitant. So we'll see if that optimism helps them win the day. It probably will. And we'll see how that all unravels. Still got blood on his shirt, which is a cute little detail. Falco wakes up and is told the situation, doesn't handle it well. He's fucking losing it over here, our boy Falco. Never been the most stable. We got this badass bitch girlfriend over here. His queen over here to fucking set him straight, but she ain't saying shit this chapter. We'll talk about that in a second. And I'm gladly listen to you comparing Attack on Titan's characters to cakes. Who knows what the fuck is going on in this chat. Gabi looks so hot in that panel. Weird, Minty, pretty weird, bro. As we speculated in our last minute predictions video, for the last few months, Falco has to wake up and be filled in on everything that's happened, and here is the moment he is. I didn't even think that he'd be upset about his dead family. I'd forgotten about them. In all the last minute prediction videos, I'm like, how's he going to react to nearly killing Piek when he first transforms into a Titan? How's he going to deal with post first transformation? How's he going to deal with Magath's dead? And then you're like, oh, his whole family's dead too. But we don't give a fuck about them, so we never even thought about them. Pretty funny. Dead family, hilarious. Gabi is still looking on not doing much, and she doesn't do much more in this chapter. We are saving her for the grand finale, despite what some people might think. I'm very confident she's still going to be around. Falco and Gabi, as we know from the end of the chapter, are staying behind with Annie and Piek is also leaving. They have now both suffered tragically lost through the story. That was a shitty fucking sentence. So what's next for these child characters? With these separate characters, this is something that I noticed in my latest rewatch of Mad Men. I just finished the rewatch, and throughout season 7, they bring back all these desperate elements to give them finales. And sort of like season 7, everything from like season 7, episode 2 to episode 14, which is the last episode, like each episode wraps up a storyline. So you have the last Margaret episode, and the last time we ever see her, and like you finish up her arc, who's Roger's daughter, and then you move on, and then you do this with each character. There's one with Megan at the end of part 1 of season 7. There's like Pete gets his shit wrapped up in the second last episode, though he does appear in the last episode. This is what's happening in Attack on Titan. We're starting to get individual characters are getting a lot of focus because it's the end for them. Either we're never going to see him again, or it's them going to die. We got this with Magath a while back. We suddenly got a bunch of Magath. We got little bits of Magath development a few chapters before he died, and then that last chapter was a lot about Magath. Same with Shardis, he got reintroduced there, and then we finished up everything there so we could move on afterwards. They were killed off. It happened this chapter with Hanji. We got a bunch of Connie development in those chapters that people didn't really like. And he's probably not going to die, so that was like the last major focus we got on Connie, so now we can move on. Gabi and Falco haven't even started like their final stages of development here. They're fuck me. They're getting kept for the end, I think. Just like Mikasa and Armin, and even Annie later, and then Eren. Like, we haven't started their final stages of being characters in the story yet. Whereas with Hanji, we're starting to wrap up. Levi's another one we haven't focused on yet. John already got his major focus, and things like that. So John is going to be around, but like his major beats have already happened. And he's probably not going to get killed off because we're at the end of his development cycle, and we're just waiting for the finale. So that's what's happening here. So that's why I'm pretty confident that Falco and Gabi are going to be coming back. This doesn't feel like the end for their characters. This doesn't feel like a satisfying conclusion, or their characters coming full circle, or their character arcs ending. It's not happening yet. Does Falco's Titan have wings? I'm not sure. People have speculated about that. Now me to spam in the fucking emote. I'm trying to reach out here. Stroke posting when I made that Gabi comment though. What the fuck does stroke posting mean? Keep your fucking internet terms out of our fucking live stream. Dead funny omega lol. Billy Kyle has an Ask a boner. Not true. I think that's all we got to say here. The Annie and Mikasa talk. I think this is the most text we've ever had for one of these fucking things. There's a lot to go over in this fucking conversation here. I chose to use the blushing panel because haha cute. Annie and Mikasa then finally have a conversation after Annie has woken up, and it's interesting in a few regards. Firstly, these two have always been positioned as rivals throughout the story, and we get a tease of them putting that behind them when Mikasa helped carry Annie off Paradis. Remember the big panel where they were all, after fighting the Jaegerists in the port like 3 chapters ago, they all walked away. Annie was being held up, propped up by Mikasa. So it was like, they're coming together. The old rivals that never really liked each other are now helping each other. This is an elaboration there, with a conversation rather than just a gesture in one panel. But here is probably the final scene they'll ever have together, and the finale of their relationship. I think this is sort of what I was talking about just now. Annie has goodbye scenes here with Reiner and Mikasa. Now, Reiner can die, right? So Reiner might die before Annie re-enters the story. The Mikasa thing here, it's not necessarily a goodbye, but it's like their relationship is done. They don't really need to interact after this. Everything that's been like subtextual between them is now being brought to the surface and addressed. Besides the fight thing that we're never going to find out, everything with Annie and Mikasa seems to have been resolved. They don't hold any grudges against each other anymore. They're relating to their shared love of Armin here. How cute. So even if Annie does see Mikasa again, they'll just be chummy pals. So this is like the ultimate scene of their relationship, the payoff. Annie talks about how she isn't going with them on the plane. Mikasa at first is like, you need to practice with the new gear, which was a neat little reference where Isayama remembered that Annie has never seen or used the new 3D mobility gear that they have changed since back when she trained with them. So it's like a little cute little detail there. How she isn't going with them on the plane and still isn't sold on the whole saving the world thing. She brings up how Malayans were actually protecting Eldians from the rest of the world, and now that Marley is gone, even if they win, there will be no place for her to go, especially without her father anymore. So Annie is basically like, even if we win, there's not really anything for me to do afterwards. Obviously burying the Armin thing, that's obviously going to be what she does afterwards, literally and figuratively. Haha, sex. Then we get more Annie and Armin shipping fodder as Mikasa subtly realizes and acknowledges that Armin and Annie are in love, and probably is salty that she's the only one out of the trio without a tangible love interest right now, since we, not he, weirdly acts the Jean plotline. Maybe it could still come back. Maybe that's the last thing Jean has to do is sex Mikasa. That could be fun. There's a cute shot of Annie holding her hand over her heart when Mikasa talks about Armin heading into danger, but then Mikasa reiterates that when asked by Annie that she's not going to kill Eren. Mikasa reiterates on the fact that she doesn't want to kill Eren, and there's also a scarf mention where Annie's like, haha, you're not wearing your scarf anymore, and she's like, I have it, I'm just not wearing it. Remember when people were like, haha, Mikasa went back on a development, she took the scarf back after that girl died. That was fucking stupid as fuck. She ain't wearing it. That's what matters. She's going to throw it at Eren or put it on his grave or whatever the fuck after they beat the fuck out of him. So there's a lot to go there. I don't know. Does Chad have anything to say? Bold of you to assume Isayama will release Reiner from his suffering. He will. I hate this fucking Reiner suffering meme. It's fucking tired and unfunny. Good one. I think Minty shares it. It's a version with Reiner not dying and realizing there's more to live, and thus defeat Eren's with the moral high ground. Or Reiner's whole arc, right, is that he's trying to save the kids. That's been his whole arc. That's why he continues to live. There's the scene where he puts the gun in his mouth, but then he doesn't shoot himself because Falco, like, hits on the wall outside, and he hears Falco's, like, struggle, and he's like, well, if I'm not going to live for myself, if I'm a miserable piece of shit that killed hundreds of thousands of people, is responsible for this whole conflict, and has no friends and is completely alone, well, at least I can help out these kids and do something good with my life. And that's why he tells Annie to look after them, and now he has a purpose in saving the world here. My fucking phone is at 9%. If this fucking thing goes flat, I'll punch something. Might even be worth the peace ending. Imagining the Twitter shitstorm if Mikasa and Jean ends up together. I used to think that was like a sure thing, that was definitely going to happen. But I feel like they've had opportunities to tease it, but they really haven't yet. But maybe this is a tease here of Mikasa like getting jealous that everybody has somebody to sex, and she just wants to sex. And she can't because Eren is dead. Maybe. We'll see. People be so mad when they went out and blurred copies of the manga. We need a Tokyo Ghoul tier sex chapter. I hear rumors about this Tokyo Ghoul sex chapter all the time. Enlightened, Tipsy. I think that's a new name. Maybe I've seen that name before. Eren going, end of baby daddy and Mikasa and Jean end up together and Twitter going to be outraged. Yeah, fuck them. Fuck the Eren Mikasa people. They're annoying. Do we have anything else to say about this conversation? It was cute. It was long. It was probably the most interesting thing in the chapter. My favorite thing in the chapter was everybody's reaction to Hanji dying. That was nice. Onyx upon crying was kino as fuck. Probably my favorite moment of the chapter. Remember when they had a little relationship and then they brought it back here when he's crying? The single tear as he's flying away, as he can't really watch because you got to fly the plane, watch her die. Fucking kino stuff that was. I don't know. Annie obviously is going to, if she lives, which I'm pretty sure she will, Armin is her motivation moving forward. That's how her character is growing. That's going to be her motivation moving forward. Mikasa is going to be her kid's fucking aunt, so she better be nice. Though we still got to deal with Titan cancer. Though ending the conflict, ending the cycle of hatred symbolically, it gets rid of the curse of Ymir. Plus, Ymir doesn't exist anymore in the past realm. Assumably, that's what I assume. Some people think she's hanging out and fucking cuddling with Eren or some dumb shit. So maybe the curse of Ymir is just gone because Ymir is gone. That could be a way to get around that. And have they live happily ever after fucking thing. Or they could just die together and not have kids. And then the auntie thing that I just said doesn't make sense. Anyway, Levi's back in action. Let's talk about the real shit. I liked Hanji's goodbye, but everything else about her death was mad. We'll talk about it when we fucking get to it. Levi is walking around and talking for the first time properly after the Zeke encounter nearly 20 chapters ago, and later in the chapter it even seems that he thinks he can still fight with just two fingers on one of his hands. The Zeke and Levi conflict seem to have no consequences besides being some cool drama, ? We'll see. It still has the opportunity to have some consequence. Plus it sort of brought their character arcs against each other to a halt. I still don't think Levi is going to fight Zeke again or something, but people keep saying. Though I do think Levi will have some trouble and might have to get saved by Mikasa or something with a big passing of the torch moment. I have confidence that it'll come back. Like, he's fucked up. He's probably going to be floating around. He's going to slip or something, and Mikasa will have to catch him. It'll be like the end of the Levi-Mikasa relationship, and Levi finally is surpassed by Mikasa because he's all fucked up, and the old man has to go and sit down. Or something like that. It's going to have something to do with it. But him standing up being cool, that's our boy Levi right there. That's our favorite character. We were happy about it. He has a short conversation here with Armin, who tells him to go lie back down. And Levi has a witty fourth wall leaning comment about how we'd all forget about him if he stayed sidelined in the plot for any longer. How cute. Isam has done this a few times. Usually with Levi, I think. Like these fourth wall things. Obviously, the really... obvious gross one that I made a whole video about. It still doesn't have many views on the new channel. It used to have a lot of views on the old channel. Watch my fucking gross video, you idiots. Still got 27 live views. We're doing good. It seemed Isama was subverting it before with Flock, weaponizing that. I'm not really a fan of the old must die so the young can flourish thing. Yeah, that's in like all shonen Japanese manga. I'd say passing the torch already happened. It used to be Levi quickly react to sudden trouble, but this chapter was Mikasa act quicker than Levi. Oh, yeah. with the flock thing, Mikasa, that seemed pretty in character for Mikasa. I don't know. I feel like they'll have a more formal passing the torch thing if they do it all. But what are they going to be passing the torch for? This is like the final battle. I don't think they're going to have to fight Titans after this. So I don't know. Like I guess surpassing them right at the end of the finish line is good as well. I don't know. I'd never really thought about passing the torch as in a fighting sense because I don't really think about fighting in Attack on Titan too much. But it would be a cool little thing for Mikasa to get over Levi at the end. And Pixis and Niall's deaths not being yay old people bad thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Isayama is necessarily going with all the old people have to die so the young people can flourish. Because then everybody of our generation should die and Flock and Gabi should be the thing, which they still might be doing. Depending if Gabi gives her talk no jutsu speech that we've been clamoring for 30 chapters at this point. It seemed nuanced how Isayama was talking about the new generation, but showing how old people need to die for that to happen. Like the point where young people steer in a new direction. Yes, Hanji dying just felt like that to me, especially with the Jaegers. Moving on, I think we said everything about this Levi part. We'll talk about him again later. Now we get two Yelena things. Yelena reveals where Eren will go next. That's probably where Eren is headed next. Fort Suratua. I don't know. I can't even say your fucking names in chat. How am I supposed to read words? We see a brief Yelena flashback to discussing the original plan of attack with the rumbling with Eren. She explained to him back then that he should focus the little rumbling they were planning to do with the Shinganshina outlying wall thing was what Zeke originally planned in his euthanasia plan to demonstrate their power and shit like that. On some key Malayan ports where the Allied forces would have gathered their combined fleet, demonstrating the rumbling's power and causing financial strain on everybody. Because they'd have to rebuild their fucking ships. Where are they going to get the labor and pay for the labor for that shit if Eren destroys them all? If Eren and Zeke would have destroyed them all with the limited rumbling. This also explains why Eren first attacks the port with the rumbling, as we've seen in the previous chapters. Eren did attack the ports. He kept Yelena's advice, and that's why he attacked a weird port thing first, and the Titans first came in there. It was orientated. It was planned by Eren. Giving that like a retroactive explanation for why he like came to Mali on that like specific point is very clever. Isayama is very good at like making sure there aren't really holes in his plans usually. So shout out to that there. With this information, Yelena predicts where Eren will be headed next, which is for that thing, according to the early leak translation. So yeah, this thing will maybe it'll get renamed when the official translation comes out. I don't know if anybody looked into what this word means or something, if it has something to do with something historically, or that could lead any insight into what might be happening in our final battle. I saw some speculation in chat earlier, but I wasn't paying too much attention, so fucking paste that shit again. In chat so I can read it. This probably will be the final destination of Attack on Titan and will house the final battle of the series. This place, Fort whatever the fuck, that's our last thing. It's the final battle. It's the climax of the entire thing is going to happen there. So get hyped. I'm sure it'll have some weird cool design. There are flying planes and shit there. I wonder what it looks like. I like how Levi can use ODM gear because of his reverse knife grip habit. I don't know. I didn't even pick up on that. Yelena in the scene looks like how I bet she looked when she gave birth to Annie. Still holding on to that theory, guys. Kidding. She looks like Dina. We just learned the word Odiha, and now we have to learn this true. Mali has weirdly Japanese-sounding names for their place, where it seems like they're based off like European people. It might be a nod to a nuclear base IRL. I think that's what Truth said earlier. LK version 7, probably nukes. Are we getting the nukes? If we get the nukes, you better give me the biggest I told you so ever, because I've been predicting nukes for fucking 3 years here. I said when they first introduced what like time period Mali was in, and it seemed like maybe the 20s or the 30s, I told you they were splitting the atom here soon with their weird science, right? Fucking them people in New York did it, right? They were the people that do it. I don't know, fucking nuclear bomb history in real life. But fucking the bomb's coming. And after that, what the fuck is the rumbling going to do? You can't be isolationist and be in active like war with everybody if they have nukes. We'll just nuke Paradis and fuck you. Now you can't rumble shit. But we'll see if that gets brought up. Shinganshina will be where the final battle is. The ocean will be where the final battle is. New Hangar will be where the final battle is. Minty's sick of the speculation, but we are wrapping things up here. It was Manhattan, yeah, the Manhattan Project, right? Or is that's something from a fucking TV show? I don't remember. Japanese stories always have to include nukes. Shake my head. And then Mitty says ... Bit yikes there. Then we move on here. Yelena wants everybody to admit that Zeke was right. Yelena's monologue also continues into her wanting everybody to admit that Zeke's euthanasia plan would have been the best outcome here, since nobody would have had to die outside of military troopers and limited civilian casualties. It would have been preferable to the rumbling, obviously. I think I said this in either last minute predictions or last month when we were doing our chapter review. I think I said like Zeke's plan was definitely preferable to this. Just everybody loses the chance to procreate. Just adopt some fucking Marley children or something if you want to be a dad. But yeah, little weird. Probably should have gone with that. What was Eren thinking? Haha, kill them all. I'm fucking actually 12 on the inside. Freedom. I'm spread. This isn't really Yelena asking them to admit that what she did was justified. I think I meant this is really, not this isn't really. This is really Yelena asking them to admit that what she did was justified, since she was following Zeke's orders. If her leader was justified, then all the horrible things she probably regrets doing now that she did were justified in trying to achieve a peaceful solution. Hanji admits that Eren didn't offer any solutions, and they don't have any, so Zeke's was probably the best. So based euthanasia plan gets praise from everybody here. Everybody else shuts the fuck up, they don't care. Levi's still talking shit over here and said that she fucking gave up everything easily. True and based. So about Yelena here, Anne was teasing this big paragraph before, so we better fucking read it. It was the Manhattan Project, I knew it, I'm a fucking genius. I know everything about history, never question me again. Kyle loves watching news delivered differently. I don't know what that's in a reference to. So about Yelena here, I just wanted to say something. It might be anything, but I just thought it was so curious. So initially, I thought Yelena was obsessed with Zeke's person, like a spiritual leader. However, this chapter, she openly discards Zeke as having failed without any problem. Well, he's pretty evidently failed. She's lost hope, right? Just like everybody. But she still holds on to the euthanasia plan, so she seems to have validated herself through the concept of euthanasia, as if from that depended her whole sense of self. She's been quite delusional and dejected. Jaeger is in shambles. I feel like Yelena is just an extension of Zeke that Isayama made so that he could have Zeke be with the Alliance and not having Zeke mystery, intrigue, be demolished. Yes. I don't think so. She's her own character. She admired Zeke and shit like that. And I think what I said here is probably more true. She just wants everything that she did to be worth something, and for them to admit, well, you were right, we sort of fucked you over. None of this would be happening if we had listened to Zeke's plan. It's sort of validating her god figure as well, right? It's validating her and then also validating him. So I don't know, I feel like that's more it. Gabi, Falco and Annie are staying behind with Kiyomi on the boat. My fucking phone is on fire for whatever fucking reason. I don't know why. It's on 1%. It's gonna go flat, then I can't read chat without until the very end. So fuck me if that happens. I don't know why this happened with my phone today. It's been fucking up. It's fucking 4 years old, this goddamn phone. So that's probably why. But fuck me. I always complain about it anyway. I'm trying to put water on the screen to cool it the fuck down. So here we go. Piek makes the decision to lock Falco and Gabi in a cabin on the boat, so they can't go with everybody else on the plane to the final battle. And of course, as we've already gone over, Annie is staying behind with them too, as we will see as we see in the panel here. She's guarding the door. It's cute. Oh no, my fucking phone froze. No, it hasn't. Now it's reloading. And now the last message I'm going to read in chat is fucking Yelena has tall pussy from Minty. Hilarious. I'm starting to think Zeke might just be dead at this point. I don't know about that, Haxorus. What was I up to reading this shit? And what we see in the panel here, Kiyomi is another relatively important character that's staying behind on the boat, shoveling coal by herself. Look at her working hard down here to get the fuck out of the way. Where's all their fucking men? I guess they're on the plane too. I guess she's the only one left behind. Is it literally just the four of them? I don't know. What does this mean for these characters and their future in the narrative? Annie is very clearly conflicted about leaving everybody behind. She said she wasn't fully on board with the alliance, but she at least wants to protect Armin. That's what's causing her internal conflict here in this panel. I have no doubt they'll all come back, probably with Zeke. Gabi and Falco aren't done yet. They obviously have more to do. I'm pretty sure Annie's going to have more to do, and she's not just going to regret this. She has some fucking turmoil here. Who knows what Kiyomi's doing? It doesn't seem like she's ended her role in the narrative either. I still don't know how Zeke is going to get there, but he's going to get there somehow, I'm pretty sure. Using some weird paths magic bullshit. I'm pretty sure the Zeke moment where they look like they've all been defeated by Eren, but he throws a fucking rock at Eren's head and says, haha, and it's the fucking cliffhanger of one of the last chapters, and he shows up in Beast Titan form to save him. Now Annie and Gabi and Falco will be with him too. Or Gabi rather can take some big sniper shot from far away. They could just be following them there. No, because they fly there, so who knows where they're going. Maybe they're going to have some other little mission with somebody, some character we've forgotten that's going to come back. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. I don't think these characters are done yet, but maybe they are. Who fucking knows? I don't know. I didn't fucking write this shit. We're going to get a Last of Us 2 ending with Annie and Kiyomi raising children together, potentially. Anything is possible. We went over that. This is out of order. I don't know why. On my PowerPoint. Fuck me. Reiner and Annie have their conversation and hug. Reiner and Annie have some outstanding issues that they have never really seen, and they have never really seen eye to eye or been the closest, but here we get some resolution in this chapter regarding their relationship. I could easily see this being the last scene they ever share together, and it ends with a sweet hug. Cute. Piek references, now the actual scene. Piek references at the beginning that Annie never really followed Marley, so she has no reason to come along. But then obviously Armin would be a reason for her to come along that she's sort of struggling with. Reiner apologizes for making them push on back in Shinganshina. Remember the whole thing? That's when Annie beat the fuck out of Reiner, but then Reiner stood up and fucking choked her and shit. And like tried to embody Marcel and become Marcel. And made them push on. Obviously, Reiner has talked about regretting this a million times. He admitted this to Eren in chapter 100 or 99. I don't remember which one it was. He says they should have fucking turned back and none of this would have happened. Which is one of the biggest regrets of his life. Look, I even said it there. And he admits that she dreamt of killing Reiner multiple times, but it's a joke, and they hug again. Cute. Reiner entrusts her with looking after Gabi and Falco, and there's a cute wave goodbye. There's also a wave goodbye where Annie like waves to everybody else, even though they were enemies fucking a week ago. They all love her again now, and they remember their training days where they were all together. How cute. But yeah, this is like I'm pretty sure this is their relationship coming full circle. Their conflict being addressed. It has a happy ending. Most of the things do in this chapter. Besides the chapter itself, I guess that's not really even that has a happy ending. Hanji imagines herself. Oh, we went over that. It's probably not her imagining herself, but she's cuddling with everybody. She's even happy in the afterlife, which doesn't exist. It's a metaphor. Shut up. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. It was a cute moment. I like this moment a lot. One of my favorites from the chapter. Not as good as Onikapan crying at the end that we'll get to. And this moment might be even better. Annie and Armin, Mikasa questions Armin. So also they wave, and then Armin doesn't wave in the big shot, but he waves afterwards. Annie looks and then looks away, trying to bury her feelings. It's cute. And then Mikasa questions him. I'm sure we're going to explain that all here in the text. Annie and Armin exchange a very dramatic look, and then Annie turns away trying to bury her feelings and not follow him into danger to protect him. It's super cute. I didn't say it's super cute. It's cute, and it's a nice that they specifically got focus here. The look exchange is great. There's still some unresolved feelings there, and he's coming back for Armin. Mikasa continues to pry here as this time she confronts this developing relationship she's uncovered from Armin's perspective. Armin doesn't really give anything away though. Obviously he's sad about the split here too, but he's heading into danger and has other things to think about. There's also cute side comments from Connie and Jean here about Annie too, reflecting on how they wanted her to come also. Jean talks about how he was relying on her, and Connie's like, she doesn't have to come, she's fought enough already. Obviously, Annie, all she's got to think about is, I'm leaving Armin behind, but because she's just leaving. She doesn't have, like, a big fight in 2 hours when they land. Armin has to wave goodbye and then be like, hey, I gotta kill my best friend. Hilarious. So that's why he's a little less he's not like dawdling on the issue. He's just sort of got to accept it and move on for a second and address this afterwards if they win. If they win. She doesn't want to make eye contact because she's ashamed of her own cowardice. That's impossible. But Jesus, man, how many divergences are we having for it to feel like we're actually departed? A lot of time needs to pass between this chapter and then. Well, obviously, no, I think this is like, she's clearly conflicted here. Like, the turn away is because she actually wants to turn back, and she's going to turn back pretty quickly. Maybe she's going to tell Kiyomi to make the boat follow the plane or some shit. I don't know. I'm assuming the plane is going over land, though it does go out to sea. I don't know. Truth says edge. I'm not sure what that's in response to. Carl's responding to something Anne said, but never mind. I think I got the fucking point. At most, we have 4 chapters left. I'm sick of speculating how many fucking chapters we got left. Isama's planned it out. When it fucking ends, it'll end. But there we go. That's the last of the Annie stuff this chapter, I'm pretty sure. Hanji starts coming full circle and talking like Erwin. Death is coming. Hanji starts giving off death flags like a motherfucker as she starts to come full circle as a character and references things Erwin said when it was his time to go, particularly reflecting on her fallen comrades, on if her fallen comrades were watching, specifically in a conversation with Levi, again, just like Erwin. Levi points this out for the slower members of the audience to pick up on. You sound quite like him. Hanji also comes full circle here with her comments towards Pieck about wanting to touch her in Titan form, pretty sexy, and feeling her temperature, calling back to Hanji's obsession with Titans and science that were more relevant to her character when she was initially introduced. More of those core themes coming back in the back end of Attack on Titan. We're coming full circle like this was written by Oda. True and factual. This shit was great. I like this stuff a lot. I don't know why this didn't work for me, because we're going to get into it. I didn't really like the Hanji death, but I like all the desperate elements. And I talked about this in Twitter DMs with Minty, but something feels wrong, or feels like it's missing from the Hanji death. Because this stuff is great. Her, like, setting up her death making it obvious is good. And then, like, everybody's reaction to her dying is good. Her killing a colossal titan is pretty cool. But, like, she just, like, falls down burning. I guess it's, like, a weird death of, like, burning death and, like, falling. There's something weird. It feels like maybe we needed, like, an extra page or something. Though I don't think it was rushed. I'm not going to throw the fucking 126 bullshit criticism out there. Because, honestly, this chapter was a little slow. We'll talk about it when we actually get to the death, but I don't know. Levi and Hanji should have hugged, not romantically, but the bond between comrades. Well, I'm pretty sure it's all but confirmed that Hanji, at least, wants to sex Levi. But I feel like the dedicate your heart thing is better than that anyway. I felt more sorry for Levi than Hanji. Well, that's the point of Levi's character. Everybody around him dies, but he doesn't. I feel like the method of death or whatever was a bit bizarre. Hanji's death is set up for future events, whereas Erwin's death was really well set up and the payoff for some other shit. Yeah, it was one of like the hype end moments of like an entire arc. The Hanji's death definitely wasn't as big as Erwin's death, and Hanji is like a much bigger character than Erwin, and a character I like a lot more than Erwin, so it was like, Hanji didn't get a double spread, true. Hit there. I thought there was when I was comparing it to Erwin, but Hanji definitely is final. Yeah, Hanji's dead. I don't think anybody's like, she's still around. How many views we got? We're up to 30 views now. The PowerPoint isn't zoomed in for anybody else. It's just because I fucked around with my screen, right? Let me fucking exit the stream on my phone and then open it back up. This is definitely going to make it go flat. 31 viewers. Yes, like Bert's death isn't really a final thing in this chapter. I got another ad. Oh, fuck me. This is the one stream we make like 10 cents of ad revenue off because there's like 30 of you fuckers here. But I think that's everything we got to say here. I liked all this stuff. It was good. Now we've stopped with the fucking the text, right? This is where we got lazy. We were still making the fucking PowerPoint on stream just before we started recording. It's a secret for the YouTube audience that they didn't deserve to know because they're not as good as the Twitch audience. Fuck it, can't be bothered explaining. Fuck it, I don't give a fuck anyway, Minty. Fuck Minty. Can we get some fuck Minties in chat? Flock is alive, and then Flock is dead for real this time. Flock shows up, the pages are out of order, so it's sort of hard to get a full thing on. Look at him, he's crying, what a sook. So Flock, like, he didn't kill anybody when he came back, which was weird. That was something we all speculated about, sort of we expected. He just comes back and he shoots holes in the plane that necessitates Hanji sacrificing herself. So that's it. So he sort of does kill Hanji. Inadvertently. Now, the leaks, I'm pretty sure everybody and their mother knew that Hanji was going to die this chapter because it was posted to everybody. People commented on all my older videos saying, Hanji died, bro, Hanji died, rest in peace, Hanji, and all this shit. So I just assumed, and also that Flock was, Flock came back, and that Flock died as well. I knew those two things, because I saw, Rip Flock as well. So I just assumed that they were, with a similar event, which they sort of are, but not in the same way. I just assumed that Flock shot Hanji, but that's not what happened. Flock doesn't shoot anybody, shoots a plane, which is probably better. If you're Flock and you want to stop this, shooting the plane is probably better than killing them, because he doesn't really hate them, or whatever. It's actually interesting. He gets this weird monologue as he dies that I don't really know how to process because I want to wait and see it in order. But he has this weird monologue where he's don't do it, still don't do it, and he's begging. It's sort of showing that he is at least somewhat dedicated to the cause and believes in what he was fighting for and wasn't just doing it all to just get power. The power was just sort of a circumstance and him being a piece of shit and the most megalomaniacal fucking villain we've ever had in Attack on Titan. The death wasn't a big fuck yes moment. I think even the shot that Gabi, when Gabi shot him last chapter or the chapter before, no, that was 3 chapters ago, right? I feel that was more of a fuck yeah moment than this. Mikasa just fucking shoots him in the neck with her fucking grapple thing. Has anybody died like this? Hanji nearly died like this. I feel Hanji's near death there was better than her death this chapter. But she got spiked by that. I remember Levi killed somebody like this too. But this has always been a fascinating way. These grappling hooks could kill a motherfucker if they got him. And here we go. It got Flock and he starts bleeding out. Does anybody have anything else to say about the Flock death? Did I miss anything? Because we don't have any text to remind me what I should talk about. I like to see more rumbling, Titan stumbling, the ones that Hanji kills. So that's more visible, that her skill shows March. Alright, that one scrolled up. He did way more than kill people. He wanted to stop the Alliance entirely by making sure they couldn't fly, so it makes sense. Yeah, that's it. I guess he said that before I said that. Yeah, they just made it. Yes. I think Flock being dedicated to the cause as a good thing, Lamau. Yeah, it's a fucking awful cause. I'm just saying, I guess it's better for him to be actually believe in the cause than just be a crazy fuck who wants to kill people and wants power. I don't know. It's a distinction without a difference, I guess. And his expression is also reminiscent of Erwin's final moment, but I'm not sure to think about Erwin's final panel. I don't know. I don't have it here in front of me, so I can't look at it again. I like this paneling, strike, realizing he strike, then accepting that he struck. That's a cool little thing here. Moving on. Unless we have something else. So did Levi in 115. I don't know what that's talking about. Kenny looked like that. Yeah, Isayama draws characters similarly. Mikasa fucking killing Flock is fucking killing herself, saying this because people hate Flock and Mikasa comparisons. Do they? Oh, yeah, because Flock is also dedicated to Eren or whatever the fuck. Yeah. They have to repair the ship, but the rumbling is coming down on top of them. This was a fucking great moment where you realize, the fucking... These, symbols of noise, these Japanese symbols of noise is coming. I don't know if they're actual letters or whatever the fuck, if they're actual kanji or whatever the other writing thing is called. But, when you see them on a page, it's oh, fuck, we better get going. It was really cool. I like the effect it had. I really like this part. It's the footsteps coming. And then the next page that I don't have in the PowerPoint, of everybody's faces and Reiner running to the door to see them come over the mountain. It was really fucking cool. It was really good shit. I like this effect a lot. It was really cool. Do I have to say it again? They have to repair the ship, but the rumbling is coming. I already read that too. Fuck me. I don't know anything else to say here. It's just a fucking great effect, and Hanji's oh fuck. They also say they need an hour to repair. I don't know if they repaired it really quick or an hour went past. I'm not really sure where they patched up the holes. I have no idea. Maybe it'll be more obvious in an official release that an hour did pass or it didn't. I got no idea. We'll see what Chad has to say about it in a second. But then moving on here, Hanji decides to sacrifice herself and makes Armin commander. This is where the things that I don't know if I liked as much come into it. But Hanji, I'm the one who brought everybody here. I killed my comrades to come this far. I'll take responsibility for it all. Armin, I make you the 15th commander of the Survey Corps. This doesn't feel as dramatic of a moment. I feel like we all saw this coming, though we talked about Jean maybe becoming commander as well, because he always seemed to have a plan and have some commander qualities. But I think somebody in chat earlier said, like, Hanji says that because Armin never gives up, and because he's so smart is basically what she says. She doesn't say that, but that's what those words mean. A synonym for those words that she actually says that I can't remember right now is smart. That's like the reason she gives for making him commander. And Jean nearly gave up, even though he doesn't, and he really never does. He always flirts with giving up, and then a bunch of other things. So it's like that's why Armin was chosen. I guess I can accept that. That makes sense. It doesn't feel like that grand of a moment. I don't know. There's something off about this last bit where it's like this doesn't feel right, and then Hanji's death doesn't feel right. The thing after it, like her going to Metaphor Land, is cool. And then, like, her falling, like, the panel of her falling burnt up is cool. And then everybody's reaction shot that's on the next page. No, it's on the page after that is really cool. The Levi farewell is really cool. All these desperate elements are so cool. But together, I don't know why they don't work. Maybe I have to reread it. Maybe when the actual official translation comes out, it's a better translation. The words make more sense and it feels more dramatic. I don't know. Maybe there's a page missing. I don't know. Leave me the fuck alone. I'll see what I think about it. I had a very similar feeling for the Shardis and Magarth death, where everybody talked about how tragic that was, and I really didn't feel it. I didn't feel like it was as climactic as maybe it should, even though the melancholy was sort of part of that scene, and again, it's sort of part of this scene. I don't know. Rereads are in order when this shit is done, so we can fucking gander the pacing of things and how chapters intersperse and intertwine and things like that. All opinions are tentative. I reserve the right to change them all at a fucking drop of a hat. Fuck you, idiots. But yeah, that's what I gotta fucking say about that. We needed more panels for sure. I don't know if that's like for sure. We need more panels. That was what's wrong with it. Doesn't he always be able to comprehend the situation just like Jean? Minty, I think, is big. Jean should have been the one here. It feels like a lot of good Isayama has had for a while, all crammed together. Never felt right to me. And her farewell to Levi and stuff. I like that one. Yeah, alright. I feel like chat is generally agreeing with me. We'll see in the YouTube comments if people are shit talking me for disliking this or whatever, because I saw Alexander tweet that Isayama did it again, or something about Hanji. I saw a bunch of like tweets from people who aren't necessarily making chapter reviews every month talking about how they like this chapter. Like the Attack on Titan wiki account or some shit was tweeting some stuff as well. And like they always ask like who was the MVP from chapter whatever the fuck it is. And everybody was like Hanji underneath. Rest in peace, Hanji. So everybody's freaking out that she's dead. I didn't give a fuck at all. It didn't really make me sad at all that Hanji died. I liked Hanji. I always have. This isn't Eren, right? I looked at this before and I'm like, this is supposed to be Levi or is it Eren? It looks like Eren's lips. Doesn't really look like. Well, it can't be Levi here. Is it Mikasa or is it supposed to be Hanji's face? Or is this Eren's presence here? I thought about this. I feel like more people would have pointed this out and I'm just being stupid and I'm not recognizing who this is supposed to be. Because Levi's hair doesn't go all the way down to his face. And Eren's does. I thought it was Eren too, Minty saying. It's Hanji though, is it? Does Hanji's lips look like that? Maybe? Because this is like... It's sort of off-center that this is Hanji and then this is also Hanji, but... Her hair stops at her eyes and then comes down. It could be Hanji. It doesn't really make sense for it to be Eren at all, but we'll see. I've never heard you say that before. Oh, yeah. Levi says, dedicate your heart. Now, I thought that maybe he said this to Erwin, and we were just referencing here that Hanji wasn't around when he said this to Erwin, for Erwin to dedicate his heart, but I went back and I checked, and he didn't say this to Erwin. So this is like the first time he's saying it to somebody. Maybe he secretly loves Hanji too. Hanji did fucking blush to Levi and when she was like, we should just live out in these woods and ignore all our problems and not go and save the world. But then eventually she decided we've actually got to do something about it. So maybe this is mutual. This is sex. We are seeing sex right now. They are having sex in this panel. But it's like a unique thing. He didn't say this to Erwin, but he said this to Hanji. This is a great moment. I like it a lot. Levi says the thing as a goodbye to Hanji. It's cute. So the thing I like about Attack on Titan is the internet cinematography and my screenplay. What is this? I'm not reading all this Anne right now. People in chat read the fucking thing Anne just said so she isn't mad and doesn't feel like she's wasted it. Hanji kills a few Colossal Titans. She does. There's not much to say there. They are killable. I was like, why doesn't everybody just go and fucking start swinging swords? I'm sure they could take down a few, but then the fire fucking shit. They're all going to burn the fuck up if they get that close. She's using a Thunder Spear. She doesn't have to get very close. But they are killable. I'm sure other Titans could. They have, more heat resistance, I assume. I mean, I wouldn't be mad even if no one read it and says, whatever, crybaby. Mr. Hanji uses her swords at the end, on the first read. Does she use her swords when she kills the next one and when she gets on fire? I guess she used all her Thunder Spears. It looks like she takes down, 3, right? Or something? I don't know. Everybody's reaction to Hanji's death. I really like this panel. Armin really freaks the fuck out. So does Connie over here. He's crying. Hanji's the thing. John's crying too. Levi's sitting down. He's already internalized it. Piek doesn't really give a fuck. But Anya Capon here. Kino moment of the chapter. Anya Capon, we're about to take off. Hold on. And Levi says later, Hanji. It's all great stuff. This panel looks cool as fuck of her burning, falling. I really like this shit. I think this is probably the best part of the chapter. Armin is freaking the fuck out. Reiner has got his head down over here. Didn't even see him the first time. It's cool. I like it a lot. The Anya Capon one is the best. And later, Hanji, that's all great stuff. Hanji reunites with their fallen comrades in death. It's a metaphor, guys. It's not actually happening. They're not all in their uniform. How would they even be watching the situation? Plus, the plane gets shown over here. People are pointing out how the fuck is Shardis around. It's a metaphor, alright? It doesn't have to make literal sense. It's all about symbolic sense. Hanji's joined all her dead comrades. Now we have to fight to make Hanji's death, Hanji's sacrifice worth something. So we got to stop Eren. Now it's a burden on the rest of them, just like this used to be a burden on Hanji. Who is this picking her up? Is this supposed to be Petra or some shit? Is this someone I've forgotten? I recognize all of these. The drinking dude, haha. Nanaba, that's another name I remember of a dead scout. Where's our Glass's boyfriend? Is he around? What's he doing? Shouldn't he have been the one in front and center? I forget his fucking name. Levi is crying, by the way. Is he? You just can't see it? Maybe. My man Moblet, that's his name, Moblet. They might make it more impactful with the music and stuff. Fuck the anime. Who gives a shit about that shit? Moblet doesn't have glasses, fool. Moblet definitely has glasses. Or is he not the one I was talking about? Who cares? Fuck him. We're done. We are done, though. What the fuck? Let's look at the comments. I feel like this has been shorter than it usually is. We started this about 40 minutes into stream. Let's check how long the stream's been going. Nearly an hour. The last few have been an hour and a half. Again, I didn't really like this chapter as much as the previous few. It feels, I think 129, that's the one where McGarth and Shaz die, right? I felt similarly with that chapter where most of it's really good and the elements work, but for some reason the execution doesn't entirely come across. And I wonder in a reread if it will, because first reads are garbage nonsense. Never judge something off a first read. That's pathetic and loser baby shit. Always reread it and then make a decision. A more informed decision, but we'll see. Moblet is the one helping her up, but yes, the goggles guy is gone. Nifa too, even though they were from Hanji's squad. So that is supposed to be her glasses boyfriend that doesn't have glasses. Okay. He looks short as fuck. This looks like Petra. This looks like a girl. Long hair? I don't know. But we don't care about them, even though they were from Hanji's squad. Yeah. There's no tear if you look close. There is a tear if you look closely at Levi. Maybe it got out, it got blurred out in the image scaling I did, but I don't know, it doesn't look like it's there on this one, but whatever. It's not Petra, you stupid piece of shit. It's fucking Petra. I'm making the decision, the executive decision now. Art is interpretive, therefore this is fucking Petra right here. Why is he so short if that actually is him? Sorry, about to chow down on Hanji, maybe. Fuck, do we have anything else to say? What's chat got to say at the end here? I feel bad. It's not even going to be an hour. Or maybe it's just over an hour at this point. how are you supposed to make last minute predictions? Did shit. It only got like 5k views instead of like 10k like it usually gets. And then now this chapter review is going to be short. What the fuck's going on? The author is dead. True. Petra was Levi's god, so I didn't know how well Hanji knew her. They all walked out on her that one scene, remember, where she started telling her stories to Eren, and everybody else is like, "Why'd you ask her, fucking idiot?" It was okay. It wasn't that bad. The chapter was good. It just wasn't like the Hanji death. I don't know. Let's go back to the first fucking panel. It's like a good send-off. Hanji question mark? Attack on Titan chapter 132 review by your friend. Sadly, this is reaffirming the only Eren chapter is a good narrative. I feel like, is everybody saying this? There's something missing in this chapter, or is everybody saying this chapter is good? I don't know. I haven't really seen much of the reaction. Should we go over Reddit things right now? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go to Reddit and shit on them right now. We'll do that with just stream. If you want to see that and you're listening to this on YouTube right now, you can go and watch the VOD on fucking Twitch after the fact if you want. Follow us while you're there. What the fuck are you doing? I think we're going to send this off. Next chapter they catch up. Hither, people. I don't know what that is. I think that's a new name. I don't know if I've seen them behind before. Next chapter they catch up. I'm not sure what they're referencing there. So, it was more than usual. It was not extremely good, but it was okay. There were negative moments than last time, but overall satisfied. Of course, comments about Hanji's death being rushed, which I'm sure makes you happy. Yes, when you don't understand the problem with something, just accuse it of being rushed. I saw comments mad at Hanji saying, "Oh, Eren provided them with no future," and that she called Eren a brat. Lamau. Yes, people. Eren had no solution. What are you talking about? Killing everybody is the solution. Jaeger is on suicide watch. What's going on? I think that's it. I think we're gonna let the YouTube people go right now. Hopefully there's less Eren people in the comments because we didn't bait them with the title this time. And it's just Hanji. Though that was probably fucking good for our analytics. By the way, Titan folk again, mostly there. Yes, that's usually where, if you want to see the dumbest of the dumb, head over there. With that being said, we're letting the YouTube audience go. Spirit Village should be out soon. Watch the anime digest thing I did. It's 5 fucking hours. I wouldn't tell you to watch last minute predictions. That's useless at this point. There should be some Attack on Titan scripts coming out this month, hopefully. That's the plan, at least. And Eren is the antagonist script, and core ideas and changing themes. Core themes and changing context in Attack on Titan. Neither one of those things were contradicted. If anything, the Hanji thing reaffirmed the core themes script idea, so those should come out in the near future. Also, other videos, analysis videos are getting lazy with their titles, maybe some Berserk stuff, maybe some Madman stuff. I actually get fucking on board with that shit. Those are what you got to look forward to in the future. Everybody watch Madman, it's the best. I watched Digest, all 5 hours of it. Kyle Miller also did, but he 2 times it. I do tell people to 2 times at least the intro of that video. But with that being said, let's let these fucking idiots go. We'll be back next month with another fucking chapter review. We'll see if we have more than 4 chapters left, or 3 chapters left, or 135 is what I'm thinking now. But until we're done, you can always check back every month. We should have last minute predictions and the chapter review out, plus some ancillary scripts along the way. But with that being said, get out of here. Support links in the description below. Thanks.